Welcome to this evening's Selectmen Meeting for September 1st, 2015. Before we get started, I would like to have a moment of silence for two individuals that have passed away recently. Donald Vigent, who was a Oxford police man, and he was also a member of the town's ambulance service. He was a civil defense officer and special police officer. And then also Helen Lawless. Helen worked at the kitchen of the Oxford Senior Center for many years, and she was also instrumental volunteer for the new animal shelter that we built. So if we could just remember them in our thoughts for a minute, thank you. Thank you. First thing on the agenda this evening is the invitation for the annual Huguenot picnic at the fort, presented by Eugene McKay. If you'll come up, Eugene. Been hearing the ad on the radio announcing about the picnic.
Well, this is one that you don't want to miss.
Oh, good.
And everybody that's listening and watching, I think the same.
Have a seat, Eugene.
Good
and
time to
relax.
get excited about good things. I do want to just add one thing. The bridge is beautiful. Every time I drive over or back and forth, you did a great job. It's just wonderful.
That's great. That's great.
I'm
Good
sure
to
you'd
hear.
like to hear that. As
Yes.
pluses.
Good news for a change.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we got more.
Okay.
Up on top of the hill there, they're going to have a picnic, and I just highlight some of the things. I'll give you. John, there you go.
Thank you.
You can take
We'll
one.
pass those down. Thanks, Eugene. We have one of these.
They're going to have a pageant up there. They're all excited about it. They're going to act. They're going to tell. Anybody wants to know about Oxford, the past, way back, it'll be up there. They're going to start off with a S&J Jazz Trio. I mean, we're getting pretty fancy here with vocalists and all, and then the pageant will begin about 1:30. The ones that they're going to try to reenact what happened when the town was built or started, and that the Signy family from France came over, as you know. But this playing out, you'll get a little more of a feel of it. I don't know if you like that kind of stuff, but I really think if you live in Oxford, you ought to kind of know the history about how it started. So this is a good chance. They're going to show actually some of the things that's done there. Harvesting crops and what the things they went through, how they found water, how they made all that livable, and then you're going to have the Oxford Middle chorus singing, and you've got the girl that did the essay last memorial. She's going to read that. So the National Honor Society president, Janice Lorenz, is coming from Colorado. I mean, this is going to be a big party, and I think you should say that I was there. Being from Oxford, I moved in 1959. I just like to have others know about the town and the history. And this is a perfect opportunity to do that. The four women will walk up to the fort, they representing the ones from that era and time. The scouts are putting on a display and involved. There's attendance prizes. The Dessert is free. They keep asking, if you want anything else, go up and get some of the dessert. The girls, the ladies do a great job about it. I don't think, like, all I can say is, this one you don't want to miss. If you can try to make it and support, they put a lot of effort in there. I don't know, I think there's about, I don't want to say what the cast is, but there's quite a few. And as I say, they're going to play all the parts out, and you'll learn about the town at the beginning of the auction.
Very good.
Thank you for your time. Any
Board
questions?
members, anything you want to say? Or?
I guess just thank you very much for organizing this. I don't think most people realize, and certainly people who've just moved into town in the past few years don't realize the rich history of the town of Oxford.
Yeah,
and
it's
and,
really-
this is really a great way to see where we began. This is the really Huguenots were the very beginning of the town of Oxford.
You can see it
And
there,
this is- and this-
even the fort and the monument. What is it, 143 years or something like that?
134.
I just can't,
131.
there's a lot of history.
Excuse me. Yeah.
Give or take a couple of years.
Give or take a couple.
Yeah.
I went last year and it was very interesting.
Well, this is added more, as I say, with acting out the play. You have a feeling, hopefully, of how it built and started.
Thank you very much.
I'd like to say thank you. Your enthusiasm is something that, we like to see. Very nice.
Well, Oxford's a great town, and it's got a great history. And this is part of it, and great opportunity, as they say, just to sit and relax once in a while and see how everything went years ago. They had a lot different than the TV and the refrigerators and
Yes,
the off-wheeler vehicle, all the stuff that they have today to keep you
the
going.
pioneers.
Yeah. Thank you for your
If
time.
there's anybody listening that hasn't gone to one of these events, it's an amazing, relaxing day.
It is.
With the music that's up there, and you have little refreshment and stuff, and the entertainment. It's definitely a great thing to go and participate in. So, Eugene,
Thank you.
we thank you for coming tonight and inviting us and making the public
I hope they take
aware.
advantage of it. It's
And like I said, I've been very surprised because it's on the radio, so it's like, yeah, that's a great thing. So,
Hey, you might meet somebody up there, I don't know.
very good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, next item on our agenda is introduction of the new executive director from CMRPC, Janice Pierce, and Terry Cummings gonna introduce her for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay, good evening. The end of July, Larry Adams, the executive director of CMRPC for 10 years, retired. And last Thursday night, we appointed Janet Pierce as the new executive director. And I thought it'd be nice if she'd come in and introduce her to the people.
Great. Well, I'm the Southwest Regional Rep for CMRPC, so go there a lot. It's a good organization, They do a lot, They really help the towns out and the areas out with, our transportation issues and things. So I wish you luck in your new endeavor. So have you worked for
Yes.
them for
Nearly
years?
7 years.
Oh,
I
wow.
started as business manager in December of 2008.
Oh.
In March of 2012, I started the Regional Services Department, and it has grown. I mean, starting from nothing to even one project, so that's tremendous growth.
Yeah.
But no, we've done very well with the regional services aspect. Oxford has participated in procurements in the past as well on the different heating oils.
Great.
And recently became executive director.
It's very nice to meet
Went to
you.
meetings with the Worcester County Selectmen's Association. Alan was there.
Great.
So I
Great.
look forward to working with you with the MPO.
Yep.
Terry sits on our board.
Yes.
Oxford's very well represented with
He's
CMRPC.
a great man. I
Yes.
shouldn't say that on air, huh? Thank
Hope
you.
my wife is listening.
But I would like to extend an invitation to all of you as well. I'll leave this with you. We're having an open house and also as part of our quarterly meeting to be held on Thursday, September 10th. The open house begins at 5:30, runs through 7. Our quarterly meeting begins at 7, usually runs through 8:30. We're going to be showcasing all of what the staff has to offer. Many of you are aware of it through our transportation departments, but also through community development, GIS, and the regional services, and where we're looking to go in the future.
Great.
So
Good.
I'll leave these with you.
All right. Thank
I
you.
also brought along, Brian, for you, in case you don't have copies of these studies. There was a Route 20 West Corridor profile that was done back in April of 2009, which led up to the various TIP projects that you're working on with the Route 20 especially. The Worcester Regional Mobility Study that was completed back in May of 2011. There was an area of interest for Oxford concerning the interchange on the Turnpike and other areas as well you may have some interest in, some reading material. And also the recently completed freight rail planning study. I don't know if all of you have copies, but I'm more than happy to leave these with you,
Great.
along with
Great.
the invitations.
Thank you.
Board
welcome.
members, anything?
Just welcome. We talk about CMRPC on occasion here at meetings, and I don't think the people at home really know what CMRPC is. So could you just give a brief overview of what the CMRPC does?
Sure. We're the Regional Planning Commission for the City of Worcester and 39 of the surrounding communities. We're directly involved with the transportation program. We work with the Federal Highway and also the Massachusetts Department of Transportation. With the TIP program, it would be identifying areas of federal transportation dollars based on need. Dennis, you serve on the MPO. The MPO determines where those projects, where the funding will go on those particular projects. We also do open space plans, master plans, work on town bylaws through the planning departments. I met Mr. Sullivan this evening. We'll be working and reaching out to the planning boards as well. And in addition to regional services offering studies, we have grant opportunities for looking for regionalism and shared services and that type of activity as well. We'll do any type of research. We have wonderful data that you can tap into. We recently launched a Central Mass Data Common project. Any type of demographic information you're interested in looking at, we work with grant writing, offer assistance on that and review, and offer some of our data as well to the town.
And Mr. Cumming has been our representative along with Dennis for years, and because they're involved, the town reaps the benefits of that. If you get a town that you don't have any representatives that are not involved, you really don't reap the benefits. So thank you to both of you, two individuals, for going to those meetings and
Absolutely.
representing the town of Oxford well. And thank
Yes.
you for coming in tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Great.
It was a pleasure. I was down here a few months ago for the Oxford Business Association meeting when you talked about the infrastructure. It was a great panel. I've talked about it quite often with some other area communities. Great panel presentation, great involvement, and I commend you
Awesome.
for that.
Great. No, thank you, Jen.
You're welcome.
All right. Have a good night. Thanks, Terry.
Thanks, Terry.
Take care.
And I look forward to working with all of you in the future.
Thank you. Thank you, Janet.
You're welcome. I'll talk to you soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Time being 7:15, we're ready for our interview for a full-time police officer. Mr. Fairbanks is the first person up. Mr. Conlon will step out.
Good evening.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
So we're looking to hire a full-time police officer, and you're interested, so is there something you'd like to say before I open it up to the board for any questions?
I've been working here for the last approximately 2 years as part-time, and it's been great learning experience, great working with the guys that are on board. Everybody's been helpful. It's just been something I've been looking forward to getting into more.
Great, okay. Selectman Bose.
Mr. Fairbanks, we meet again.
Yes, sir.
I think this is our, it's our fourth time.
Fifth, sixth.
Fifth or sixth. So we know you pretty well. We've read your packets over and over again. I think what I'd like to do is, just so the community can get familiar with you, kind of just go through what your education level is in relations to police work, how many years you've been doing police work and where that has been, and some of your accomplishments as in law enforcement, maybe some certificates you've gained or accomplished.
It's just an ongoing experience, and learning experience. Been involved in the public safety since I got out of high school in '88. Was a firefighter for about 14 years, and then decided to go into the law enforcement side of it. Been dispatching and a part-time officer in another town since 2003. Still currently a full-time dispatcher in another town. So I'm around it every day. Constant online training, involved in a couple different online programs to keep certification up to date. And then through Boylston, the Reserve Intermittent Academy, when I was appointed here, I went through that before the appointment. And basically now it's just all on the job, along with the online classes.
So you'll need to attend the full-time academy should you be appointed. Excellent. Thank you.
All right, Selectman Mahoda.
Mr. Fairbanks, welcome back.
Thanks, sir.
After working with the town of Oxford part-time, what do you think your most valuable attribute that you could bring to the town as a full-time police officer would be?
Dependable, reliable, show up, team player, willing to learn, assist the people the best way I can.
I know I've heard from a lot of people that you've filled in for a lot of shifts, and you step up to the plate big time with that, as far as, taking overnights, weekends, things that people don't want. So thank you.
So, you do have quite a few jobs. Are you going to be giving some of them up?
All of them.
All right. Okay, now, I asked you before about volunteering. You said you didn't have time to do anything.
Yeah, well, I currently work 2 full-time jobs,
Yeah.
and my third job is the police department on the side.
And you have a few children too, right?
My baby's 22.
Oh, nice.
I do have custody of my grandson who is 9, so yes, I do have a young one still at home, but it works. The schedule works.
Great, thank you.
All right. Well, the question I have is in your part-time experience, I've heard, like Selectman Mahoda, I've heard a lot of good things from various officers that you've really been putting in your time and you've grown quite a bit from when we first met you, and that you're really coming along very well. So that kind of makes me happy that, you've been willing to help the town out, and that experience has helped. And I was wondering if you could give me an idea of how the experience has helped you to grow and become a better officer.
Just the learning curves. Learning every day's different. Of course, I've been on all the calls, so you never see everything, but I've seen quite a bit since I've been here. Just basically to learn it and get more advanced in the knowledge of each aspect of it.
Okay. Now, as a part-time officer, do you go out on your own, or are you always so you do go on your own? Okay, cool. All right, that's all I had to do to say, really. Like Selectman Bose said, we've seen you plenty of times, asked you so many questions. I think we've got a pretty good, handle on who you are, and I was wondering if there's anything you want to say in closing.
Nope, just once again, I've enjoyed my time as part-time and just looking forward to the next step.
Great. Okay. Well, thank you. You're
Thank you.
welcome to stay. I think we might make a decision tonight, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Conlon.
How are you?
Welcome back again.
Thank
And
you.
here we are. We've done this many a time, so you know how the process is. Before we get started, anything you'd like to say to us that we probably don't already know?
No, not much. I mean, it's just that, you know, hopefully we make a good decision and we move ahead.
Right. Okay, Selectman Bose.
Mr. Conlon, this is your third or fourth time in front of us, so we know you pretty well. Just like all the other times the background checks were done. We have all your information, all your experience, all your education, but just let's share some of that information with the people at home. Talk about your education as far as
Okay, when I first got
let's,
into
let's
police
talk
work.
let's talk about your education, your relevant experience, how long you've been a police officer, where you've been a police officer, any type of certificate you might have gained through the years, any accomplishments you'd like to speak about.
I'll give you the Reader's Digest version.
Absolutely.
When I started police work 18 and plus years ago, I jumped right into getting an education. I worked for the University of Massachusetts as a police officer. Right out of the gate, I went and got an associate's degree, continued to get my bachelor's degree, master's degree. Just recently, I was asked to possibly go up to Worcester State and start teaching this past summer, and haven't done that yet. But again, I've been a police officer 18 years. 11 of those years, I'm in a small town about 25 miles from here. I was a police officer, detective for 3.5 of those years. I've been court officer for many years. I'm a child safety seat specialist for 8 or 9 years since. I currently work as a part-time school resource officer. A litany of, I've been to New Mexico for incident to terrorist bombing school. So I've been a litany of things towards the education of a police officer. This is what I do. I'm halfway through, a little more, my job here. My career is, I got to do 32 years. I've got 14 more years left. I shouldn't say left, but encouraging. I stay physically fit. I'm 47 years old. I ran a 5-minute mile, just a couple days ago. So I mean, I'm constantly running. I think that physical fitness is paramount for police officers. You see a lot of guys on road jobs that aren't physically fit, and it's discouraging because you really should be. But again, 18 years, and I'd like to bring that experience to the town of Oxford. I live here. I've been a resident for 8 years. Built a brand new home here when I came here, and this is where I raised my children.
Your degrees, are those in criminal
I
justice?
have, yes, all my degrees are in criminal justice,
So you
that's
have
correct.
a master's in criminal
I have
justice?
a master's degree, yes, sir.
Okay, that's all I have. Thank you.
Selectman Mahoda.
Mr. Conlon, welcome back.
Thanks.
After working part-time for the town of Oxford, what do you believe is your most valuable attribute that you can bring as a full-time officer to our town?
No, you know what, unfortunately, I haven't been able to take as many shifts as I'd like to. When I first started, I was taking a bunch of shifts. It's hard to take a 3 to 11 shift when I work 7 to 3 and to be here for 3 o'clock. It's nearly impossible. I did do as much as I could do. For the last 4 months, actually, I got hurt on the job. I've had surgery on my wrist, and I'm currently right now out as well. So it's really unfortunate that I haven't been able to take a ton of shifts, and it's really unfortunate that they haven't seen what I can do and what I can bring to the job. But that's just circumstances, unfortunately.
Thank you.
Selectman Berthium.
You ran a 5-minute mile?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that is,
I run marathons. I mean, Jay would say I should hit the gym, but I run an awful lot. But it's what I do. It clears my head. I ran, prior to coming here, about 5 miles. So, about 35 minutes. So it's just what I do.
my other question is about volunteering. That's what I asked you before. What have you done for volunteering?
Well, my son just got raised to Boy Scout here in town, and I'm missing a meeting tonight, but, you know, I try to help out as much as I can with them. You know, a lot of nice people in town. You know, encouragement to, you know, wow, I wish you worked here, and, you know, a lot of stuff like that. But, you know, because of circumstances, you know, it is what it is. But my girls are in Girl Scouts. I have 2 girls in Girl Scouts, and, you know, we try as much as we can. I mean, unfortunately, my wife and I both have jobs that don't afford weekends off. She's a nurse, I'm a police officer, and we work quite a bit. As you know, police officers work many hours, and you know, we do what we can. So I try.
Now, how long will we be able to go back and do the
I
arrest?
see my doctor on the 23rd of this month, and I'm right on target for the 1st of October, or the beginning of October.
Good, thank you.
Welcome.
Well, Mr. Conlon, like my fellow board members have said, we've seen you many a
Yes.
time, asked you many a question. The question that, you got 18 years where you are now. I mean, there's a certain amount of seniority,
I have 11
kn-
where I am now, yes, but,
you know.
yep,
So
absolutely.
I know you're living in Oxford, but, you know, you come here, you're at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's absolute, and my sheet with pros and cons for both PDs, you know, show a lot of things. You know, 10 hours a week that I drive back and forth, I could afford to give to the town of Oxford. I could afford to see my kids a little bit more. You know, being in town is wonderful, you know, to work in an apartment where you live in town, you know. You know what's going on around town. You know, 10 hours a week is tough. You know, sometimes I don't come home. Sometimes I stay at the fire station in town, because the turnaround's 8 hours. By the
Right.
time I drive 2 hours, it's 6 hours of sleep. And, you know, I stay you know, we make that sacrifice, and I stay at the fire station. I wouldn't have to do that. I live 4 minutes from the police department,
Yep.
even while running.
Okay. All right, well, that's all I just think is sometimes, you know,
And I'm not running away from anything, if that's what you.
Yeah.
I-
No,
and-
no,
and I-
Mike.
And I think that it could appear that way. There's a couple of guys in my department have put in papers for retirement, and I would be close to the top. I'm only 3rd anyways, but, yeah, it has its advantages, absolutely. It has its disadvantages.
okay. Yeah, I have many
Yeah.
different jobs in my career too, and left this one and went to the, after 10 years here or there, and there were
I
reasons.
assure you, I have 14
you
left,
know,
so that's, I have young kids that need to go to college.
Hey, that's all I have. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the board before we
Just
wrap
thank
this
you
up?
for affording me again the time coming here, and hopefully we can make an informative decision.
Great. All right, well, you can have a seat. I think only take like a 5-minute break, and we can tally our sheets and come up with a decision. Sound good?
Absolutely. like the small jobs.
Thank you. Welcome back. We have our results from our interview. And the decision by the board is that we are going to offer the position to Joseph Conlon. So, Mr. Conlon, after you pass your physical and psychological, I guess you're all set. Once we come up with, probably have to negotiate for a contract and all that, so.
I think we have to vote,
Vote,
and then
yep.
I'll make a motion that we appoint Mr. Conlon as a full-time police officer.
I'll second the motion.
So we have a motion and a second. Any other comments?
Congratulations.
Then we'll call for the vote.
Yes.
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 Yes, we have 4 yeses, 1 absent. Congratulations. Thank you. What's that? Yeah. And Mr. Fairbanks, I would definitely, please stick around, keep helping us. We're going to need some more officers soon. I know it. I just know that. So, you did very well. And, I understand, like I said earlier, I've heard really good things. So, I'm sorry about that this time, okay? Thank you. So we go to, next thing on the agenda is town manager's report.
Just give me a minute.
Yes, sure. I will do selectmen's requests while the manager is stepping out for a second.
Our requests are gonna be to the managers.
Oh,
They're gonna be.
okay, then we'll hold on a sec.
We doing the selectmen?
Well, I could take off one hat and put another hat on, if you don't mind, the board, is that I'm, as many know, a member of the Oxford Lions, and we're having our annual fair, fall festival. It slipped my mind there for a second, coming up in September 19th. And as I always have done since I've been on the board, is I need to ask for permission to utilize the Joslin, and also we need a license for entertainment on the town common.
And an
So-
outdoor business permit.
Excuse me?
And an outdoor business permit.
And an outdoor business permit. So, thank you, Karen. So that's my request.
Outdoor business and use of the common. Okay, I'll make a motion that we grant the Oxford Lions Club an outdoor business permit for September 19th. And I also, include in that motion, we grant them permission to utilize Jocelyn Park from, what's your hours are gonna be? Noon,
Entertainment.
9 to 4
9 to 4,
And entertainment.
in the entertainment license.
in the entertainment license. This is all happening on September 19th.
19th. Yep.
I'll second that motion.
It's been moved and second. Any other questions or comments?
Last year was a great time. My kids had a great time.
Yeah, hopefully the weather's gonna be good. We've got really good, we got Darth Vader and I don't know what else she's got. She's got all sorts of, yeah. So it's, and we got Michael Jackson this year. He's coming in, so,
Really?
yeah.
How did you manage that?
Beyond the
Well,
grade.
yeah, it's just miracles can happen. All right, I'll call for the vote,
Yes.
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 and I'll abstain. So that's 3 yeses, 1 absent, and 1 abstention. It passes. Thank you. Back to the town manager's report.
Sorry for the disruption. We've got the meeting minutes of August 26, 2014 for your consideration. All members were present. Pleasure of the board.
I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the meeting minutes of October 26th, 2014.
I'll second the motion.
It's been moved in second. Questions? Call for the vote,
Yes.
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 and I'll say yes. For an affirmative, 1 absent.
We've received an application from Miss Lynn Gillette of 27 Pine Ridge Drive seeking appointment to the Cultural Council. I've met and interviewed Miss Gillette. I think she'd be a good member of the committee. It is a joint appointment, so pleasure of the board.
Entertain a motion.
I'd like a motion that we appoint Ms. Lynn Gillette to the Cultural Council Committee.
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Any questions? Call for the vote.
Yes.
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 And I'll say yes. 4 affirmative and 1 absent.
Earlier in the summer, we received a letter from Jim and Karen Dwyer asking if we were interested in potentially purchasing 3 Sigourney Street. So there was some correspondence that went back and forth at the time because the board had asked me to explore that. They've gotten back to us. They feel their property is worth $190,000. That's a high price in my view for parking, additional parking spaces. It's probably a fair price for a residence. Does the board wish to continue this conversation?
My opinion, no. Where we're gonna get 190,000,
Seems way too
No,
much.
I mean, I think there's really, there's not much value there for the town, like you said, Brian. It's gonna be a few parking spaces, it's, heck, in Boston, you don't pay that much. You probably do pay that much for parking spaces in Boston, but no, I don't believe so.
So the general consensus is no. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Just wanted to let the board know that Chief Bemis had been working on a grant application for some equipment and shelving we needed for the Emergency Operations Center. She did get a grant for $2,500, so that's money that doesn't come out of our pocket. Blue Star Families, the American Legion Auxiliary, has invited the board to attend a back-to-school comedy night and dinner on Saturday, September 26th. It's from 6:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. There'll be presentations made to 4 Oxford Blue Star families to honor their sacrifices their loved ones have made on behalf of our country. If you'd like to bring a guest, there's a ticket cost is $15. So just let your assistant know if you're interested in going. Aquarian will be at our next regular meeting to update you on various things that are going on. If you guys have any questions or concerns in advance that you would like Aquarian to address at that meeting, please just let me know and I'll reach out to Aquarian. Next is just an announcement for the residents around McKinstry Pond. There's going to be an aquatic treatment for de-weeding later this week, September 3rd and September 4th. The pond will be closed during treatment. I'd recommend staying away from fishing, swimming, or boating during that time. The splash pad project is out to bid. We should have bids back by mid-month, and we do still plan to start construction this fall. Last week I met with the Housing Authority about their interest in the Woodward School, or the former Woodward School. They are interested in exploring turning that into some type of housing. So they're going to take that back to their board to get an endorsement to explore it further, and then we'll continue to support that conversation. They're going to need some grant money to be able to make that conversion, so this is probably a project that'll be a couple of years in the making. On the concession stand project, the redesign is underway. We should have a draft set of plans within 2 weeks. And Aquarian should be working on repaving portions of Route 12 this week that were affected by the water service work. If they haven't started doing that already, I saw an email yesterday that Mass DOT approved them to go ahead. So they should be milling and paving by the end of the week.
Excellent.
Great.
That's it.
Thank you. Selectmen's requests. Selectman Bose.
Absolutely, a little segue. McKinstry Pond de-weeding. I was speaking with a resident today who lives on Carbuncle Pond. I believe she'd spoken with you as well.
I've spoken to, I did speak to a gentleman. I don't know.
Okay, no, actually, it was her husband, that's
Yeah.
right. So you're looking into that to see
Yeah,
what we can do with that.
we're going to
pond.
try this program out. We're working with the DEP on McKinstry Pond, and if we're successful there, then this is the treatment that we'll try in Carbuncle.
Excellent, excellent. I was watching a school committee meeting the other night, and they were speaking about, a couple of the committee members were upset that they were paying rent to the town for the use of the office within the community center. Now, if my memory serves me correct, the school committee was looking to rent space in that building in the very front once upon a time. They were very enthusiastic about doing so. And then the town came up with this idea of, you know, renovating that top floor for them, and they really liked that idea because they were getting more than twice the square footage for basically less money. At the same time, we were able to renovate one of our buildings. So I believe the Board of Selectmen had worked it out with the school committee where we were going to do a borrowing and renovate that space for them, and then they were going to pay us back through rent, and they were more than happy about that. Now they seem like they're not very happy about that, and they think that they shouldn't be paying rent. But I think what the failure to understand is that we only have so much money to go around, and we're giving them that $50,000 in unrestricted local aid, and they're in essence just giving it back to us. It's more of a bookkeeping thing than anything else. So I just maybe reach out or have Donna reach out to them and just inform them or remind them of the reason why they're paying rent over there, because you know, they had every option to renovate a space within their own building.
Not only that, but the rent doesn't even cover the debt service
That's
costs for
right,
the renovation.
right. The debt service is $50,000 a year, and they're paying $40,000 a year, right?
Something about that, yeah.
So we're still, and there again, there's only so much money to go around, and we give them a very large portion of the unrestricted local aid. We've done that for years, and so it's a bookkeeping mechanism. They want their own budget, they have their own budget, but this is the way it needs to be done. It's not so if you could speak with Donna and
No,
have
I
her
know
reach
it-
out to their business manager and just remind them of the agreement that put those wheels in motion. It wasn't our, you know, we didn't force them to renovate that area and take that area over. They were more than willing participants, and they were more than happy to do so. And to watch that meeting, it made it look like we had a gun to their head that we're, you know, but that's not the way it unfolded. We had something's.
Oh, I was just going to say, I know it's been an on-again, off-again conversation the past several months about whether they were going to continue to rent there because they couldn't afford the rent in light of the other financial problems that they've been having. And I'm sure that conversation will continue, and I don't know if that is partially the context of the conversation that was
But
occurring.
Brian, they have to understand that if they don't give us the $50,000 back, we're not gonna give them the $50,000 anyway.
Yeah,
I mean,
I get it.
It's just a shell game, so to speak, you know? I mean, that has to be paid down. We're not gonna say, okay, well, you don't wanna rent anymore, we're gonna take $50,000 out of the DPW budget. It's just basic math. So just, there again,
Yeah,
reach
I
out to
gotcha.
Donna, and I imagine there was some type of agreement that was put forth between the two committees, and, you know, we just, you know, halfway through, we're gonna say, you know, we're gonna move out now.
Where they gonna go if they don't stay there? I mean,
I've heard conversation about them moving back into the high school.
which
so I
wasn't
don't
good
really know.
enough. When, I agree with Mike, when this all happened years ago, that was one of the questions, is that, you know, why don't they use part of the high school, like down where the shops were and stuff like that? And I can remember them saying, oh, it's not big enough, it's gonna cost too much to, and so now all of a sudden, it's not, you know, so they're gonna find money to be able to renovate that area, so, you know, I don't know. Sometimes you wonder if they're
There's nothing to be
talking
gained,
out.
right?
What's that?
There's nothing to be gained by doing that.
No. See, 'cause they're just not gonna move in down there. They're gonna have to set up walls and rooms and things like that. Well, where's that money coming
And
from?
the net difference on their budget is not gonna change.
No, it's,
So just maybe they need to be reminded of that,
Yeah.
that's all.
Got it.
I'm all set, that's all.
Right. Selectman Mahota.
I'm all set there, thanks.
Okay, Selectman Berthium.
I heard from a citizen that said the repaving on Dana Road was so much nicer, and I live on there, so it is nicer. I know that too. It was a good job.
Just signed a contract for design services to do some reconstruction work at the beginning part of that road to align the work that's been done with the railroad crossing with the rest of the surfaces there, so.
Great. Well, Selectman Bose brought up carbuncle. The question what determines the de-weeding? You know, because people have asked me this, you know, a month or so ago, and I said, yeah, I don't know. You know,
Well, some of it's resources, some of it's dictated by, we have to consult with the Conservation Commission about what we can do and not do because those are protected water bodies. And I know recently, because we didn't have as much resources in our budget this year, Judy, our conservation agent, had been consulting with the DEP about alternative solutions, and they had recommended a course of action, and that was something we were going to try out on McKinstry Pond. I had actually identified another idea that I thought was pretty good for carbuncle, which is there's these fish called the grass carp that various governments have used. They've imported them, and they eat all the weeds in the pond. Well, the state of Massachusetts has a law against importing any grass carp from anywhere else in the United States. So
Does
that
it
would
eat
have been
everything
like
else
that
too,
would have
right?
been like a $50 solution. But,
Oh, really?
yeah, they've got
I'll
it.
leave it
they've
to
got a ban on
Massachusetts
it.
to
Yeah, no kidding.
overcomplicate things.
Well, the other thing, last thing I have is I just want to give a shout out to Chief Bemis. Getting a grant like that, she's gotten quite a few grants to save the town money. And I was in there, like I had mentioned at our last meeting a few weeks ago when they delivered the four-wheeler. And she was on the computer showing me all the new computer programs and stuff she's been working on, that she can tell you how many fire hydrants are in the town and what route is available for this and that. And the thing she was showing me was phenomenal. And she's a hard worker, and I just think she should know that she's appreciated by one board member anyway, and I think she's doing a great job, so thank you, Chief. And that's all I have.
Like you said, the chief is a really good hard worker.
Yeah, she is. The stuff she was showing me on that computer with this program was like, wow. I mean, she could almost tell you if you brushed your teeth that morning type of thing. It just was, it was.
I hope she can't tell
She
us
was,
that, Dennis.
the thing she was, it was like, holy cow.
Lots of good stuff
There
like
was
that.
so much stuff that I can't remember even an iota of it. I know the hydrants is one thing because they lived right up, and that was pretty neat. So you kind of see like the Dana Road area, there's nothing, and it's
Yeah, there isn't.
It's like, so anyway. So that's all I have. If there's nothing else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make that motion.
Second the motion.
A motion and second, call for the vote.
Yes.
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 And I'll say yes, we are adjourned. Thank you.